Again, Gills fans, welcome back to Gills in the Blood TV. It is Monday review time, and this one could not be any more different to last Monday's episode, where we had to talk of a limp, an abject, lethargic, disjointed defeat to bottom of the league Burton, who'd not kept a clean sheet all season, I think it was. Hadn't won on the road all season. Turned up at Gills and won 1-0, of course, and just summed us up in the way we were playing, unfortunately. But fast forward 7 days and it's a completely different outlook on things. We went to Accrington at the weekend, flying high in League One in the playoffs with games in hand. To a man, Gills were absolutely superb. Defensively was sound. We limited Stanley to minimal chances. And offensively, we were a threat, weren't we? We've created some good opportunities. And Alex McDonald was unlucky not to get a couple. And then scored a really good goal and managed the game's second period. So all in all, a really good performance. But before I wrap it on a bit longer, I am going to leave you with Boz, who's not made an appearance for a while. Man of many words. I said to him, can you send me a 5-minute video reviewing Saturday's game? 1 minute 55 I got. But it's a good 1 minute 55. So I will let you listen to the Boz man now.
Hello Gills fans, just a quick one from me. Matt's asked me to give my opinion on yesterday's game. It was a nice surprise, wasn't it? We haven't been great the last 4 or 5 games maybe. I think the new boys had almost an instant impact. Ollie Lee coming back in is always going to be a positive. Callum Slattery looked decent enough on his debut, calm, gets the ball, gets rid of it, doesn't do too much fancy. All in all, we were very good from minute 1, really, which is something Evans has been saying, isn't it? Positives, even not just a result. Defensively, we looked decent enough. I mean, Accrington had 1 or 2 chances, but that's always going to happen. Defensively, yeah, I think Tom O'Connor goes unnoticed a lot yesterday. Not a lot of people talking about him, but myself and Stocky both said how he seemed decent enough yesterday. He made a few decent tackles, got rid of the ball, his distribution was good. Alex McDonald as well, I think probably had his best game for us. A couple of decent shots, he got stuck in. Just a positive all-round game for him, really. Dempsey, obviously, how we signed him on a free transfer, I'll never ever know. Another great goal from him. Seems to be when he scores, generally we do well. Northampton aside, I think. Jordan Graham had the left back on toast, didn't he? The guy was getting himself in the right old pickle, just like chasing shadows all day. Yeah, it was decent. It was a real, for the first time in a while, I think we, out of 90 minutes, we were probably good for probably 75 of them. Like I say, Accrington obviously had a few chances, but that's going to happen when you're playing away. Yeah, all in all, we were decent enough. Hopefully we can move on again and carry it on into Tuesday away at Lincoln. So yeah, up the Gills.
Cheers for that, mate. Good to hear your voice again and talking about Gills. We know it's still not the same and isn't as fun as when we can sit and discuss things together in the ground or at the pub or whatever. But appreciate your views. And I think Boz makes some really good points. The first one, he says it was surprising. I think it probably was for most of us Gills fans. I'm generally glass full and pretty optimistic regarding a form, but I struggled to see us going up there and getting a win, and I'd have been more than happy with a point. My heart was saying 1-1, I think I said on the match preview, but my head was saying we was getting beat. So for us to go and play the way we did and pick up the result that we did and a clean sheet to boot was a pleasant surprise. Boz touched on the new signings, didn't he? Callum Slattery and Ollie Lee. He said that Callum Slattery kept it simple and just did the basics. I thought he did a lot more than that, and that's no disrespect to Boz's opinion. I thought he was absolutely superb, Callum Slattery. For a kid in his early 20s, wasn't afraid to get stuck in. I put a little video together on social media over the weekend. Intelligent beyond his years. Stopped Accrington playing when they had free kicks in our half by standing in front of the ball or just subtly kicking the ball away. He broke up play plenty of times and got us on the front foot. Early on, he got Jordan Graham away down the right, which Ollie Lee couldn't quite convert across, stretching at the far post. I think he's involved in the play, which eventually sees Carl Dempsey set up Alex McDonald for a shot from outside the box that gets saved. And then if you look carefully, it's Callum that wins the ball initially midway in our half, challenging, controlling on his chest. Referee plays a good advantage. I know the referee was a subject of much debate over the weekend. he made some really good decisions, and he made a couple of odd ones as the game went on, but he played a really good advantage there. Alex McDonald clipped a brilliant ball over the top to Jordan Graham, and then fair play to Alex Macker, kept his run going, and when the ball came to him in the 18-yard box, it's a wonderful deft flick round the corner, and Carl Dempsey done the rest, bending it in the corner. So yeah, and that's what Boz said, Alex McDonald's best game in a Gill shirt. I think it's right up there in terms of his influence on things. We know how hard he works out of possession, but he showed real quality with the ball as well, and it's good to see Alex get another assist. Tom O'Connor, I think I did a disservice to. There's a few people that mentioned to me on Twitter and Facebook. I only gave him 6.5 at the weekend, and I've been told off by a few, so perhaps I was a little bit harsh on him. And also Ryan Jackson, perhaps should have gone a 7 for the whole of that back four, and Jack Bonham. But creates debate and discussion, doesn't it? So all in all, from what I've said and what Bozzy said, it was a really good performance, defensively sound. Like we've mentioned already, they had 3 good chances. The one in the first half where the little dummy from the throw-in, and Jack Bonham saved it with his face. They've hit the bar with a header, and then Jack Bonham's made a wonderful save at the end. But we've had plenty of chances as well. Ollie Lee stretching at the far post. Alex McDonald to keep the save with his legs from inside the box. Alex McDonald forcing the keeper to stick one round the post. Carl Dempsey forcing a good save second half. Plenty of good delivery into the box, into dangerous areas. So we were a threat all game, and long may it continue. But we do have a midweek game, so there is a quick preview today, and we have another tough away game Tuesday night as we travel to this lot. Michael Appleton's Lincoln City currently sit proudly at the top of League One, I do believe. And they're in absolutely brilliant form at the moment. It's just having a look at the comparative last 6. Gills 2 wins, 4 defeats. So that's Rochdale and Accrington, and in between some pretty shocking performances. But 6 points from the last 18, and we'll go there with more confidence after winning at the weekend. Lincoln City, lost, but then after that, win, draw. So 10 points from 18, and they've all came in the last 4 games. So it's technically 10 points from the last 12 available, which is form that shows why they're top of the league. In terms of home and away, it was interesting though. Lincoln, 3 defeats, 2 wins and a draw in their last 6 at Sincil Banks. That's 7 points from 18. Gills just don't draw games, it seems, at the moment, and it's 3 wins and 3 defeats on the road. So that's 9 points from 18 available. So we actually have slightly better record than Michael Appleton's men. But talking to Michael Appleton, it's his team now, isn't it? They play completely differently to the way they did under the Cowleys, who did a brilliant job getting them up from the National League into League 2 and in League 1. Michael Appleton certainly put his stamp on things now. Gets the ball down, plays a really good brand of football. Be a tough game, we know that. Lewis Monsomer came in the summer, I think, as a centre-half. He's got 8 in 20 for a defender. That's staggering. George Grant, brilliant at this level. 11 from midfield already. They've got Anthony Scully, Tom Hopper, Conor McGrandle, I think it is. They've got plenty of good players all over the park. Michael Appleton will have them well drilled again, similar to Accrington, but with maybe a little bit more stardust. They'll all know their roles. They'll all know what they need to do in that system, and we'll have to be at our best again to get anything. But yeah, it makes for an interesting game tomorrow night, and one that I'm certainly looking forward to a lot more now than I was prior to Accrington at the weekend. In terms of Gill's team news, there's not actually been an official press conference, but I imagine we should have the same people to choose from. There's not any talk of any injuries picked up at the weekend, and it was great to see Stuart O'Keefe back on the pitch, albeit for about 35 seconds, but it'll do him good. It'll just be nice for him to get his studs on grass again, and hopefully he can kick on after Tuesday, get another few days of training, and keep pushing on and keep getting himself into contention to get more minutes and eventually start more games, because we have missed him. But for me, if everybody's fit and available, it's exactly the same 11 for me. So I'd go Jack Bonham, Ryan Jackson, Jack Tucker, Connor Ogilvie, Thomas O'Connor, Callum Slattery, Carl Dempsey, Jordan Graham, Ollie Lee, Alex McDonald and Verdane Oliver. I don't see a reason to change it after that performance on Saturday afternoon. People talk about Verdane Oliver saying he struggles when we play on the deck because he doesn't have a lot of pace, but I think Verdane Oliver was brilliant at the... Maybe not brilliant, that's probably a little bit of an exaggeration, but he was really good again. He's coming up against big centre-halves and probably the biggest right-back / right-wing-back in the division. And he competes all the time. I think he won 60% of his aerial battles again. And it means that with the likes of Ollie Lee, Callum Slattery, Carl Dempsey, who came in and gave us more more composure and more control of the ball in the middle of the park. We have Jordan Graham that can run at defenders. Alex McDonald was very good as well. It means that we can play two ways, and we did that at the weekend, and it means that we can hit Verdane if we have to. We can hit his chest, we can hit his feet, we can play it on his head and get him flicking it on and getting people in and around him, and it means that the likes of Dempsey, Lee, Graham, McDonald can be running in behind and running beyond and picking up loose balls. But it also means that, like we saw at the weekend, we can get the ball down and we can play some good stuff, and we did that, and fingers crossed it's a sign of more to come, because it hasn't been fun up until the weekend, aside from Rochdale over the last month or so. So for me, the same 11. And in terms of a score prediction, because yeah, weirdly, Lincoln's home record is not as good as their away record. I think they sit about 6th or 7th in the home table, but they're second only on goal difference in the away table. Gills are 8th in the away table, so it'll be a fascinating contest. In terms of goal scored and goal conceded, there's not a great deal difference. I think they've scored a couple more than us. We've conceded the same amount home and away. Last season we won 1-0 at the Priestfield, went to Sincil back and got a good point in a 0-0 draw. You then have to go back to 2010-11 for previous games, and we lost 1-0 at the Priestfield but battered them 4-0 at Sincil Bank. So take that one out, that big 4-0, there's generally not a load of goals. So I'm going to go for a score draw. I'm going to say Lincoln City 1, Gillingham 1, and I'm going to back Jordan Graham to score our goal. Right, it's enough from myself and Boz again today. As always, thanks to him for coming on the channel and giving his thoughts. It's much appreciated and breaks up these videos. I'll be back Tuesday night for a match day live, looking forward to it. And then back later in the week to review that game and look ahead to, I think, Rochdale at home, is it, at the weekend? Might be wrong. Don't hold me to that. It should be. Fingers crossed. Anyway, that's enough from me. Enjoy the rest of your Monday. It's always a bit nicer going into the office or working from home, as it is at the moment on a Monday when your football team's won. Please keep liking, subscribing, retweeting. Follow us on all our social media platforms. We are still trying to get to 1,500 subscribers, currently 31 there. So if you can please encourage other people to go and subscribe, it'd be greatly appreciated. Until next time, up the Gills.